Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Band of Brothers series. This is episode 8 and it is called The Last Patrol. Last episode, we basically picked up where we left off from the end of the medic episode. We saw more grueling battles throughout this snowy forest, many members of the company getting killed or wounded, even people we'd grown attached to such as Bill took a nasty, basically service-ending injury in the leg, so I'm assuming he's getting transported home and is now out of the show. And shout out to the German Luger pistol catching some post-officer death bodies out here. It's a hard thing to do, not many pistols gain sentiency throughout their life, so you have to show maximum respect to the Luger for being driven in its goals. And thinking about last week's episode, this week, I'm curious as to what the budget is, episode by episode, because all the practical explosions and stuff, like they tore that forest to pieces, on camera at least, that's what it looked like. So I'm curious as to how much of the budget was put into an episode like that, or were they able to evenly distribute it amongst the episodes? Not sure, but all I know is they definitely stretched their dollar, because this shit is as good as a movie. And as always, I can't wait to get into this week, so let's do it. This is episode 8, The Last Patrol. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. Oh, Colin Hanks. I didn't see his name before. That's Tom Hanks' son, of course. Not sure if I've ever seen Colin Hanks in anything. I probably have. And they say no animals were harmed during this show, but I'll tell you right now, that's complete bullshit. I guarantee there is like ant colonies flying through the air in the background of some of these shots. They tore this off up. Only if you don't value the life of worms were no animals hurt during this show. Directed by Tony To. Vastly superior to the Tony's head, shoulders and knees in my opinion.
Gordon was badly hit. A number of other people were killed. It was a difficult situation.
100%. Last episode was grisly when it came to the actual amount of lives lost. They must have lost so many of their company during the last episode.
See if I wanted to go look at him, and I said no, I wouldn't be able to stand that, so I didn't go look at him.
Can't hate on him for that. There's only so much dead you could see. It would definitely be easier to look at a dead enemy than a dead friend.
Everybody had that feeling. I believe I might be able to live through it.
It's tricky, because obviously all your instincts are crying out to preserve yourself, but at the end of the day, if you get into a firefight, you got two choices: do your job or be cowardly and have a higher chance of survival.
Newspapers called them the battered bastards of Bastogne. They'd been through hell on earth and were now pulling into the comparative paradise of Hagenau.
Of course the press had to go with a triple barrel B headline.
My name's David Webster. I just got back from the hospital. Good for you.
I don't remember this guy from earlier episodes.
What's the rest of the guys?
This is everybody.
Not the sort of question you want to be asking people who have clearly just lost friends.
Who's leading the platoon?
Sergeant Malarkey is.
What, no officers?
Nice, Malarkey deserves this.
Sergeant.
No way, they're already getting bombed.
I'm sure he wants you with us.
Captain Spears. What happened to Captain Winters?
It shows the difference in how much time they spent in the field, the fact he dove at the explosion and Malarkey didn't even flinch.
Had to be a full moon. So much for the cover of darkness.
Shit, I never even thought about that. Moonlight would make a difference in how easily you're spotted.
Sir, this is Lieutenant Jones.
Listen, for Christ's sake, will you go back in the back and shack out? There's some beds back there with fresh sheets.
I'm having trouble following the chain of command just now.
You'll need a lead scout or translator. I've got the entire battalion on covering fire.
I hope this goes smoothly, but the foreshadowing of the moon leaving them exposed makes me think this is going to be another difficult task.
When'd you graduate?
June 6th, sir.
Alright, don't get hurt.
It's funny because Off-Piss-Face comes from, you know, a Yalish background, but now to him, this guy is a fish out of water and he's been in the shit long enough where he's a veteran of it.
You have an experience. 42nd Platoon.
Yes, sir.
I've got a feeling that that guy would actually have been very good at his job. You can tell by his disposition that he is a soldier by nature. Whereas this other guy that's shown up has technically been in service longer, but because of his time in the hospital, he wouldn't have probably even been through as much as the other guy. Shit! Shit, that was so close. I'm assuming these are mortar strikes.
This is Lieutenant Jones, just assigned to 2nd Platoon.
Malarkey, platoon sergeant.
Oh, so he was given the 2nd platoon. That's cool. Like I said, obviously he's not the most experienced, but he certainly has the disposition of what you would expect from a CO and a soldier.
Well, some are sleeping downstairs, the rest are right here.
Also, this must be Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, right?
You were there, right? At the CP? This is a prison snatch, right?
Is that correct? Are they going to free some prisoners? I didn't catch that bit of dialogue.
We dodged some mortars on our way in.
Malarkey doesn't give a fuck about the couple mortars you dodged. You can see the difference between someone who's been in the shit for a few months and someone who's fresh to the platoon, because this guy's still caring about shaving and keeping his appearance up. Malarkey at this point is like, fuck all of that shit.
Heffron. Shit. McClung.
Why were they so solemn about that? Is it because they know this is a particularly dangerous mission?
There is a patrol set for tonight. And so far, Spears wants McClung.
Yeah, we've just fucking heard.
This isn't news to these guys. Word travels fast in easy company.
Okay. Alright, out.
Also, that's the other guy instantly undermining Colin Hanks' authority that he informed them before Colin Hanks had a chance to.
Stay low!
It's crazy how desensitized they are to close calls now.
I was on my way back.
In war, soldiers sometimes die in the fever.
Shit. I just got completely distracted there as well because... Is that Michael Fassbender leaning over the body? Someone in my comments did mention he was in this show and I haven't spotted him yet. Is that him there?
He was dead before Doc Rowe even heard the call for a medic.
Get him out of here, will you?
Well, at least they had a quick death. I don't know about painless, but at least it was quick. Also, am I missing a reason why they're not targeting these people with mortars? Like, you would think the moment this place started to get mortar struck, they would have snipers at high points trying to scout them and take them out. Why is that not happening?
Can't believe they're gonna make Malarkey lead it.
Christ, he only lost his 5 best friends. What the fuck's he got to look for?
It's his polite way of saying, what the fuck are you doing even talking about Malarkey? And it's a great performance by this actor because he genuinely looks like a changed man due to all the stuff he's been through.
If you offered, you could go in his place. Being that you are an officer.
No, they want someone with experience.
This guy seems like he's being incredibly snaky and antagonistic thus far. It's like he's hoping that Colin Hanks' character dies.
If it was possible for them to switch places for the patrol, it would be a small moment of justice. The decision, though, was not theirs to make.
I hope he does well and spites that guy who was trying to set him up for failure there.
Not you,
Oh, come on, George, one bar.
No, there's not enough to go around.
I am so thankful that I do not live in a time where we are surviving on ration packs.
Fine. Have Hershey's.
Thanks.
Hey, you guys a fucking Hershey bar?
Well, he got shot in the ass.
Yeah, getting shot in the ass is surely deserving of a Hershey bar.
We gotta roll across the fucking river tonight. Grab a few and ask them in person.
Oh shit, so it's not a prisoner rescue mission, it's a capture mission.
Replacement lieutenant blew his foot off, stepped on a shoe mine. Fresh in from West Point, had to come back empty-handed.
That's the first time I've seen him look doubtful in his face, but maybe he just thinks it was one of his friends.
Webb, you come with me.
Sergeant, is Captain Spears gonna be where you're headed?
Same vicinity, yeah.
Alright, then I'll join you.
Where are we going?
This is a really unique episode so far in that it's the first time we're sort of seeing the headless chickenness of rank constantly changing, people feeling like they deserve rank, people getting rank who others feel like they don't deserve it, etc.
Denied. Anything else?
You're not gonna lead that patrol, Lieutenant Jones.
Well, that's him overruled.
Really like to be on that patrol, sir. It's true the crowds are finished. Haven't really done anything.
So this guy wants to get involved when he feels like they're on the back foot. How brave of him.
Fine, you can go. There'll be a briefing. CP 1700.
That's cool. I'm really rooting for his character to do well. He seems like a good soldier. We have seen inept ones throughout this series, and this guy doesn't strike me as that. Inexperienced, yes, but he looks like he's built for this shit.
As you can see, we've assembled 15 of you here for this prisoner snatch tonight, 0100.
Oh, right, so when they said prisoner snatch, they meant get prisoners. I thought they meant they were freeing people. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Guess how many of my videos YouTube have demonetized recently due to the swearing and or violent content of them? Spoiler alert, a fucking shitload. Now I don't want to start having to edit my videos so they're all PC and the blood is blurred and I can't say fuck, shit, bitch, etc. because that's how I am and that's how these shows are. This is how the world is. But corporations don't want people to be people. They want us all to be some stupid Saturday morning children's cartoon TV show presenters and don't want humans to express themselves with any level of humanity. Well, I'm against that. And you know how you can be against that? Sign up to the Patreon up there and we'll keep this rolling exactly how we want, and it doesn't matter if YouTube demonetize me or not because you guys are supporting me in other ways. Sign up to the Patreon gang today because I'm a reactor that's keeping it real. Keep it real with me. Back to the show.
Sergeant Martin here will lead the patrol in Sergeant Malarkey's place. The whole battalion will be covering your withdrawal.
The stare he gave him there suggests he knew he was attempting to get Colin Hanks' character, into some inexperienced trouble. He was staring daggers at that guy.
Remember, it's about prisoners. Don't pop the first thing that moves. Clear?
Yes, sir.
You would think if these Germans have any sort of fight in them, it's going to be way harder to capture people alive than it would be just to shoot them.
Yeah. A little bit. Good. That's my team, sir.
Little German.
And I don't know if when he asked him if he spoke German, if that meant he was coming along or if he'd be interrogating them when they got back, but I hope they bring this guy along. He's had a little snarky smile on his face this entire episode while trying to orchestrate others doing things.
Including 2 translators.
Fine. Hey, Liv guy, you wanna sit this one out?
Yes, sir.
Haha, nice. He was trying so hard not to go on this mission. Fuck you.
Lieutenant?
He's maybe starting to get a bit of pre-mission nerves over there.
I'm not personally going in. Supposed to stay in the rear and give them cover.
Yeah, it's the best place to be.
Does that mean that that guy that was trying to send him in is now going to have to go deeper behind enemy lines than Colin Hanks? He certainly doesn't look happy. Now that's something I've never seen before. Why the fuck is he holding a cigarette lighter to that point of the rifle? Is he modifying it for some reason?
The same mission could be met with disaster and result in nothing more than 15 Americans killed or wounded in action.
Yeah, this does seem like it's one of those ones that could either go really smoothly or really terribly. It seems so simple when you see how close they are to their objective, of course. Yeah, that moonlight really isn't helping mask their visibility. This basically looks like daytime. Looks like an overcast day in Scotland. Are you shitting me? Oh man, that's some amateur shit right there. So are those guys going to join them, or is that just, one boat less for this mission? Oh, this is tense. This is easily the tensest mission they've had so far. And that's saying a lot, because last episode they were attacked by tanks in foxholes. I don't know his name yet, so we'll call him the translator. I feel like this translator character has shown himself to be pretty cowardly and trying to organise events so that he doesn't have to be a part of it. Why do I get the feeling that his cowardice is going to directly lead to someone's death?
Jackson, wait!
Ah, shit.
Pick up Jackson! We're moving out! Come on, where are you going? You move! Everybody moves out on my command!
Whenever it's in the neck, you assume this to be fatal. Well, I think they've woken the Germans up now. Okay, this guy's actually surprising me. He's way braver than I assumed him to be.
Go! Let's go! Let's go! Stay on! Keep moving!
I'll hold my hands up. Fair play to the translator. Just the simple fact he provided covering fire there makes him infinitely more braver than I was expecting his character to be. These tracer rounds just look ferocious in the nighttime.
Shoot you, you fucking drown! Shoot him and we'll have to come back for more! You and the boss!
Yeah, that would be a bit counterproductive if you instantly headshotted your captives. I understand you got a little bit of beef with him just now, but still. It kind of makes me think, would it not have been a smarter strategy to not use explosives and try and enter the house, you know, quietly and put knives to people's necks, etc.? Or was that just more likely to end in deaths? It certainly wouldn't have woken up the entire village. Ah shit, this guy looks like he's probably gonna die. And Colin Hanks seemed to do alright. He didn't have that much to do, but at least it went kind of smooth for him.
Jackson, look at me. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Look at me. You're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be okay.
Oh man, guy is fighting for his life right now.
Jackson, stay calm. The medic is coming. They're on their way. Where the fuck is the medic?
I don't know if it's not possible, but if there's a wound there, someone needs to stick their thumb in his neck.
Alright, let's get him out of here. Let's get him out of here.
Guys, come on. Help the doc move.
I don't know what his assessment of him was by that interaction, whether he thinks he's gonna live or die.
Jackson!
Shit, he seems like he's in so much pain. Ah, damn. That was a brutal death. These artery shots, man. Your neck is such a dangerous spot to get hit. The jugular vein ain't no joke.
He died a hero on an important mission that would help win the war. In fact, Eugene lost his life on a stretcher in a dank basement in Hagenau.
At 16, you would think that's the brave thing to do, you know, lie about your age, go and fight for your country and help save liberty. That's, you know, what you're thinking you're doing, but man, now that kid just never gets to see another day. So fucking tragic. And it's a story that happens on every side of every war that's ever been fought.
Private Jackson took a grenade frag rushing the enemy OP. It was his own grenade.
He died of his wounds, sir.
To be honest, the shit Dick scene, one life lost, is a pretty successful mission.
They want another patrol tonight.
Another one? What do they need another one for? And I'm really having a hard time figuring out this character. At first, he seemed a bit snaky and like he was politicking, so he didn't have to go, which he still definitely was. But then on top of that, when he did go there, he provided good covering fire and didn't cower like a bitch or anything. So I'm not sure what they're doing with this character right now.
Maybe we should put him out of his misery.
Fuck his misery. I can't listen to it anymore.
Another thing you would have occasionally heard, just cries from the wounded out in the battlefield.
Yes, sir, I am drunk, sir. Sick and tired of fucking patrols.
Well, that part's understandable.
Taking his side, Johnny? Yeah, I am.
I understand why. It's not about being a jock douche to other people in your own company. That's definitely not brotherly, let alone band of brotherly.
Two prisoners who talked.
About what?
OB, supply trouble, Hitler's favorite color.
If I was Dick, I'd have been like, what is Hitler's favourite colour? Let's all wear that. I know you want to shoot me, but can you shoot a man in aquamarine?
Same roster as last night. Well, mostly.
Yeah, give or take.
Y'all did a damn fine job on a tough mission last night. I wish you good luck tonight, because I'd be expecting more of the same.
This guy always shows up after the shit's gone down, not having been through any of it himself. So jovial and somewhat bemused as to why the other soldiers look like they've just seen all their loved ones die.
Proud. I just saw Colonel Sink. He's proud too. In fact, he's so proud he wants you to do another patrol across the river tonight.
That is no way to demonstrate your pride.
We covered all the boats, so we'll be setting off from the same place we did last night.
We're not changing the plan any, sir.
To be fair, the plan went pretty smooth, minus a few hiccups. An upturned boat here, a grenade fragment going into your own neck there.
We're unable to secure any live prisoners.
All the prisoners they brought back died. I thought there was at least one who wasn't wounded.
Okay. I think you might be honest.
There goes the outpost. And he's so proud of his bomb placing. He did a lot better than I was expecting him to.
Harry, I didn't expect to see you this soon. I figured you'd be nursing that scratch for another month or two.
Is that him getting his promotion letter or something?
Promote you to first lieutenant.
Alright, I'll be with you in a minute.
Want you on staff up there.
Oh, that's awesome. I feel like he deserved it after that mission. He did very well. Like I said, he was green, but he definitely had the build for a soldier.
Lost another platoon leader, huh, Wib?
And again, that guy looks incredibly resentful that it was not him.
Patrol never happened. Word was Captain Nixon wrote up a bogus report and regiment never got wise.
Oh, that's interesting. So they never took prisoners after all. So this whole episode was essentially in vain.
Oak leaves.
Congratulations, Major.
Now that's what I call a major dick. Congratulations to Dick though, he is the best unit leader this show has shown by far. Had to get one dick joke in there before the end of the episode, come on. Is this them stoically making friends, or is he still a bit bitter? That's cool. He's been on a mission now, he gets a hand up. Bit of respect.
How could anyone ever know of the price paid by soldiers in terror, agony, and bloodshed if they'd never been to places like Normandy?
Very true, very true. It seems like Easy Company were basically involved with all the major campaigns. Oh shit, and now we've got the hardest one to come. Okay, and that was episode 8 of Band of Brothers, The Last Patrol, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, The Last Patrol, what did I think of that? First of all, this almost felt like an uplifting episode just due to the lack of casualties the Allies suffered during it. Even though we did see one guy get killed by a mortar strike, and then obviously the guy later on by his own grenade fragment in the house, aside from that, it was a fairly smooth sailing episode, especially in comparison to all the hell we've seen them go through already. Even now the episode's finished, I'm not sure the dynamic they were trying to set up between that one translator and Colin Hanks' character. Obviously the translator sort of saw himself in Colin Hanks and the fact that they were both kind of green, even though he'd been in the company longer. He spent much of that time in hospital, so he was essentially as green as Colin Hanks' character. And I think he was seeing Colin Hanks' character get respect that he wanted. I completely misconstrued it to begin with. He struck me as kind of a cowardly guy trying to manipulate things so that he didn't have to do the toughest jobs. And I think up until a point that was accurate. But then when we actually saw him in the mission, as I said, he was providing cover and fire, he didn't run away from nothing, he was being brave, and by the end of the episode, even though Colin Hanks' character did get a promotion and he didn't, and he obviously felt like it should have been him because of the great work he did on that mission, and on top of that he placed the bomb, so he provided cover and fire, placed the bomb successfully, everything he did went smooth. But then it showed that even though he didn't get his promotion, he got a hand up onto the back of the van, and that in and of itself is a win, because that shows that he'd won the respect of those around him by the end of this episode. So it took a completely different turn than I was expecting, but it was definitely a lot better, because I didn't want to see some guy operating like a coward and a snake. And you know, my initial prediction was of course that he was going to end up getting someone killed due to his cowardice. Completely the opposite. He probably saved lives due to his bravery, so it shows how much I fucking know. And I like that Colin Hanks' character basically pulled off the mission pretty flawlessly, because he did strike me as, yes, quite green, but also built for this sort of life. You could tell by his disposition, his stoicism, and his willingness to want to be involved in the mission that he was clearly cut out to be a soldier. So the fact that nothing contradicted that and it did go well for him, I'm really happy for that character, because I feel like he deserved it due to how he was as a person. Also nice to see Malarkey get a mission off. Jesus Christ, that poor man has been through more shit than almost anybody in this show. Even Dick, because you know, the last few episodes Dick was out of the warfare. He had been promoted by then. So Malarkey, since episode 1, has basically survived the most tumultuous situations, and he definitely deserves promotions, and he definitely deserves a day off from time to time, just to be reminded that he is in fact a human and is allowed to kick his feet up. And it feels like the show's almost winding down a little bit, especially by the monologue we heard at the end of the episode, but obviously there's still 2 episodes left, and these guys are about to head into Germany. So while this episode ended fairly rosy, I've got a feeling the next one is going to be pretty rough again. So it was a nice change of pace to get basically an uplifting episode in amongst all the others. Now, out of context, if this was just a singular episode, it would be fucking horrific. But within context, the only thing that was more chilled than this episode was the opening episode, which showed them in the boot camp. So that shows how much this episode was different to the last 5 or 6, which have just been hell on earth. And again, this continues to keep me interested by switching things up. This was a singular night mission, small amount of people needed. They all had to be professional, do their job, in and out quick. I loved it. I guess the only downside was they didn't actually succeed in their mission because all the prisoners they brought back died. But aside from that, it was a good job. And yeah, I will be bracing myself when these guys cross the border into Germany next episode, because that doesn't sound like it's going to go smoothly whatsoever. And in the meantime, if you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.